Tonight's video is going to be a story of three friends ghost hunting in Exeter, Rhode Island. We get set up, got our flashlights and our EVP. We didn't have much equipment, but it was useful. So we drove about 30 minutes to a quiet farming town of Rhode Island. We drive in looking for a spot to park. It was dark, scary driving by the old abandoned hospitals, so we find a spot in a dark corner. Excited about this investigation, we walk towards the tallest building and we see an opening. We all crawl through a window from the top of a roof. We're all searching, crawling through the tall grass, trying to find the opening. Finally, we found it. We started to search all old rooms, dirty with debris, hospital chairs. You can see the picture here. It was crazy how many there were. We walk in a morgue, very scary and dark. It was cold. We hear footsteps, so we think it's intruders. But suddenly it stopped all of a sudden. I walk upstairs, seen a floating ball of light flying like an orb, so I knew something is here. I ran to the other side where my friends were at, and I said, "Did you guys see that?" They said, "No." So we decided to move on. We woke up and stayed quiet, asking questions. Nothing happened. So we moved on to the boys' dormitory, and right away we hear voices. When we asked questions, it was scary. We then asked our last question and said, "Please make a noise before we leave." After 10 seconds, a really loud noise of a brick hitting wall. So we ran out so fast. Running to the car, me and my brother tripped. Then we heard a lady screaming so loud, so we ran even faster. Finally got to the car and left. We went home in fear and happy that we left there alive and safe. A week later we came back. So me and my two friends got to the location at around 9:30 p.m. We had no permission to be there, so we had to sneak in. We tried opening up the front door, but it was locked. So we looked around for another way in and found an open window. We all fit through and we started walking inside. The place was huge. We walked into one of the rooms and saw an old wooden rocking chair sitting in the corner. As we all sat down, the rocking chair started moving on its own. We freaked out and ran out of there. We walked into what seemed to be the principal's office. There were papers everywhere and books covering the desks. We asked if the principal was there and if he could talk to us, but we didn't get any response. As we were leaving the room, we noticed a book fall off the shelf and open to a random page. We continued exploring the school and came across what appeared to be an operating room. It was filthy and smelled like urine. Medical equipment was scattered around the room and there was blood on the floor. We asked if anyone was in there with us and if they wanted to talk to us, but again, nothing happened. We then went outside to investigate the playground. There were swings, slides, and monkey bars all covered in dirt and cobwebs. My friend dared us to go on the swings and push them on their own. So we did. One of my friends pushed off, and as soon as she went back and forth she stopped. We couldn't figure out why until we noticed a noose hanging from the swing set. We immediately got off and ran inside. We went back into the principal's office to try and find some answers. We pulled out a notepad and wrote down questions and taped them to the wall. "Are you here? Is anybody here with us? Can we help you?" But as we turned around to look at the board, the paper was ripped down and thrown across the room. We got so scared and ran out of there. As we were running, we heard footsteps and voices. We turned around to see what it was and tripped over some boxes and fell to the ground. We looked around and everything was okay. So we decided to keep exploring. We went into what used to be the boys' dormitory. It was freezing cold in there. The air temperature dropped about 10 degrees. As we walked in, we heard whispers and footsteps. We didn't think anything of it and continued to walk further into the room. That's when we heard footsteps again. This time it sounded like someone was running. We started to get scared and decided to leave. But as we turned to leave, a dresser drawer slammed shut. We ran out of the room and didn't stop until we got to the car. We never went back to the lad school and we don't plan on going back anytime soon. If you want to visit the school yourself, it is rumored that the best time to catch paranormal activity is during the summer months when the sun sets around 8 p.m. If you're brave enough to go, bring a flashlight, camera, and maybe some EVP recording equipment. Who knows what you might capture on tape. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button below. If you want to see more videos like this, stay tuned.